KDP is the best, better than all the rest. You can make a great roti with Amazon KDP. KDP is the best, better. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you the whole process for self-publishing a low-content book on Amazon KDP. Hello, my name is Ben McQueenie, and if you haven't been to this channel before, I make videos on how you can make a great passive income self-publishing low-content and no-content books on Amazon KDP. And if that sounds like something you like the sound of, then please subscribe to my channel, leave me a like, and hit that notification bell. So this video is going to be a little bit longer than normal, but it's going to be broken down into simple stages, okay? All you have to do is follow each stage, and by the end of it, you will have a book that's published on Amazon KDP. Now, there's two ways that you can do this. You can either watch the whole video, then go onto your Amazon KDP account and create the book, or you can watch the stage, pause the video, and then go to your Amazon KDP account and do that stage, and we'll build it in that way. It's entirely up to you. Now, my goal of this video is to show you how I self-publish low content books on Amazon KDP. And I'm more interested about teaching you the process at this stage. So I think this video will be great for newbies, but also great for people who've already done it, but just to see the way that I do it. So let's boot up my screen and take a look. Okay, so I have created this spreadsheet, which is going to go through this, which is the follow along publishing video, okay? And we're going to practice. So this is all going to be about practice and showing you, and it's going to be a graph paper notebook. So it's a very common notebook, which we see. And, you know, it's simple. You know, so it's just to show you the process, yeah? It's going to be 8.5 by 11 inches, and it's going to be 110 pages long, okay? So I'm going to take you through all the stages, and the stages are on the side here. And every time we finish a stage, I'm going to shade it in green so we know that we've done it, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to get into this, okay? Right. So things you need to start, okay? What we're going to need is you're going to need a KDP account. So I'll put the link to KDP in the description, okay? ChatGPT, that's another thing that you'll need, okay? Now, all these things are free, by the way. And Canva, okay? So Canva to organize the cover, should I say, okay? So they're the things we're going to need to begin with. So go and get them first, okay? Once you've got them, then we can start, right? So we're going to start with stage 1. And what we need to do is find 9 keywords, not 8, 9 keywords using Amazon.com, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do this, right? And what we're going to do is when we find those 9 keywords, we're going to paste them into those boxes. Okay, so what we're looking for is we're looking for keywords for graph paper notebooks. That's what we're doing, yeah? But that return around 1,000 results, okay? So some of these have got over 1,000, but usually you want to be below 1,000. But for the example of this, we're gonna kind of broaden it a little bit. So around 1,000, okay? So here's the rule. Each keyword must return around 1,000 search results, lower the better, because there's less competition for that particular keyword. So here's the tip: use Suggestion Expander to get the keywords. And you're probably saying, well, what's suggestion? What is Suggestion Expander? Well, this is what Suggestion Expander looks like. So it shows you all the things that people are typing in when you type something in, okay? So it gives you, expands, yeah? And there it is. It's called AMZ Suggestion Expander. That's a completely free plugin, yeah, that you can go and get. And I'll put the link to that again in the video description, okay? So this is one that I found, and what you can generally do is if you click on a certain keyword, it might return 40,000 results, yeah? But you keep playing around with it until you get that kind of 1,000 results, okay? So I have got some here. So this one is graph paper notebook 8.5 by 11. Okay, so there's number 1. So we've copied that. So that's our first one. And we need 9 in total, remember. Now, just for reference, put how many results there was in there. So we're saying over 1,000. So this is the next one that I found. Okay, so this one is graph notebooks for work. Okay, so very good. So let's copy this across. Now, we're going to do the interior and the cover later on. So the first thing you need to do, though, is these keywords, okay? So obviously, if you want a graph notebook, you could be using it for work, so fair enough. Okay, so this next one here is 4x4 graph paper notebook. So 4x4 is kind of 4 boxes per inch, kind of in a square. If you didn't know what that meant, okay, I think that's right. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that's right. Okay, so this next one here is graph paper composition notebook, 8.5 by 11. So let's get that in there as well. Okay, and again, let's stick in how many results we have here. Okay, let's stick those in there. So we've got 4 so far. Now, I did do a few of these, and the last one, the 9th keyword, I'm going to show you how to find one from Fresh. So hopefully it won't take me too long to find. So this is grid paper then. So, you know, if someone could refer it to graph paper, or someone could call it grid paper. Yeah, so grid paper notebook. Okay, so you can see now all these keywords that I've found using the suggestion expander. See, like, look at this one here. This one's got 817. So graph paper notebook. Graph paper notebook for men. Yeah, that's 817, so that's generally quite a good keyword there, okay? Let me just put that thing, because my OCD won't allow it to be to the wrong side. Okay, so let's get these last 2 then that I found previously. Okay, so graph paper notebook for students. Okay, so let's get that in there, okay? And that was over 1,000 as well. So the last of the pre-done ones then. Let's have a look here. So that is grid paper notebook for kids. Okay, so, and again, that's 843 results on that one. So we have got 8 of the 9 keywords that we need to begin this process. So let's just copy that last one onto the page. Okay, now we need to find the, what's 843. Yeah, stick that in there, into the graph. There we go. Not the graph, the bloody spreadsheet. What am I talking about? Can't have that to the right. Has to be in line. There we go. OCD. Anyway, so the 9th one, what we're going to do is we're going to have a search around for another keyword. That is around 1,000 results. So let's just go grid paper. Let's have a look. Let's pick this one. See that? 40,000. No good. We don't want that. Too much competition. So let's try something else. Okay, so what's this? So, you know, you kind of play around with it until you get another one. Okay, so we've already had that one. So let's look at this. Click on there. Again, it's just too competitive, that one. So let's mess around with the front. Graph, change it from grid to graph. Let's see what happens here. Again, that's 30,000. That's still too busy. We don't want that. We want it to be lower. The lower number results is the better. So let's go down here. What about this one? Paper for girls. Oh, hello there. Hello there. Graph paper notebook for girls, and that's bringing us to 845, which is a generally good one. Okay, so that just showed you a quick process of how I found those keywords originally, those whole 8 previous keywords, right? So now we have got 9. So stage 1 of all of this process is complete. Okay, look at that. So let's make that green. Make it green, because we know it's done. Fantastic. And guess what comes after stage 1, folks? Stage 2. So what we need to do is we need to use one of those keywords for the title, one of those keywords for the subtitle, and the remaining keywords for the metadata which you would plug in on the KDP dashboard, okay? So what we need to do is our title needs to be our best keyword, okay? So we need to pick either a good keyword, or what I like to do is pick one of the longest keywords for my title. And the reason why I do that is because in the metadata, or the 7 KDP slots that you can put keywords in on Amazon KDP, only have 50 characters, but the title and the subtitle have more. So let's just, for the sake of argument, let's pick this as our main title, okay? So let's have a look. What's this? Need to ensure that the keywords are less than 50 characters. Yeah, so let's just make sure that we've made that point. Okay, so some of these keywords, when you find them, can have huge amounts of characters. So those ones you would put into your title or subtitle, usually. Okay, so that's the point I'm making. So let's just copy that. Let's just go to word counter and show you how it counts. So that's 41 characters. Now I'll put that link on there. So you've got to make sure all these keywords, for the metadata are below 50. So let's take that, and that can be our title for our graph paper notebook. There we go. So the title is going to be Graph Paper Composition Notebook 8.5 by 11, right? So now our subtitle, now this is where you've got to be a little bit creative, yeah? We need it to kind of be two things. The first thing is it needs to tell people what it is again, but also use one of the keywords above. Yeah, so we've got two keywords one in our title, one in our subtitle, but it also needs to kind of be a little bit compelling. So we need to kind of sort of say a fantastic, or, well, Americans don't really use fantastic, but a brilliant, or a... So let's have a look. So this is the keyword that we're going to use. And we're going to put a professional. Okay, so a professional graph paper notebook, right, for men. Okay, now that was one of the good keywords that we found, but it's not just going to be for men, is it? It's going to be for women, So let's and other people. So let's just put in men, women, and or. We can put or. And what we're going to put here, students. There we go. So there is that keyword. So we've got one keyword in the title. We'll make that green, so that you can see that that's one of the keywords that we've found. And then we've got one keyword in the subtitle. Okay. What I'm doing here is I'm just making sure that they've all got capitals, because when you put them into all the words have got capitals, because when you put them into KDP, you want to do that. So we've got the title, which is all one keyword. The subtitle has got the keyword within the subtitle, as you can see in green. Now, all the rest of the... I'm just going to distinguish the ones that I've used. I'll just do that. Now, all the rest are going to be in our metadata slots, our 7 KDP slots, okay? So let's have a look here. Let's copy that across. Now, look at that. Stage 1, done. And guess what? Stage 2 is now done too. So let's green everything. Everything's green. So we've got our title, we've got our keywords, we've got our title, we've got our subtitle now, right? So you always do this first before you go ahead and make the book, right? So now what we need a description of the book. So we're going to go to ChatGPT and ask it to create a description of the book. But here's the thing that you can do, if you so wish. You can either ask it to do it for you, or you can go and find another book that's very similar, copy the description which they have done, and ask ChatGPT to create another one or make it better. And then once it's generated a description, you can then make sure that it's correct and it does apply to your book, okay? So we can copy that across, go to ChatGPT, and we can simply kind of give it a general prompt so that it does it for us. So please rewrite this book description and make it better, and make it around 150 words, which I've found is about the correct amount of words you need for a description, okay? So, and then it'll start to do it. So there we go. So it'll probably be 3 or 4 paragraphs when it's finished. Yeah, there we go. So let's copy that across into kind of WordPad or Word to just take the ChatGPT formatting away. So let's copy that. And we can put it into, I've got WordPad open, so let's just copy it into there. And if you go through, you need to just make sure that anything that it's said, see here we've got deep blue, so that probably will just make it blue, the book, for the sake of this demonstration. But anything else in there that it might have come up with which doesn't actually apply, you've got to check and kind of take it out, okay? So that was just the dimensions needed changing on that particular point. But other than that, it looks kind of okay. Okay, so there we go. So stage 3 is done. We've now created a product description. So we've got the keywords, we've got the title, subtitle, and we've got the description. The next thing is to find the categories. Now you can either do this manually on the KDP dashboard, but if you want a little bit more of an idea of what to do, you can again go and have a look around for competitors and take the categories that they're in, because if a book is doing well, it's usually put in some good categories. Now, you can just go and have a look at those categories. So this particular book that we found, it's in 3 categories. Now, these look like maths categories here. So like geometry, kind of graphs sort of thing. So there we go. So that is the string of categories there. So we can just copy that. Let's copy that from right up to where it goes, says to books, copy that. And we're going to paste that into our little document here. And we're just going to highlight the actual category that this book is in. Well, the placement that this book is in. So that was in that one. Okay. And if we go back, we can take the other 2 categories that this book is in. So we've already got one, and when you pick categories, you can pick 3. Okay, so we've picked one. So let's pick the second one then. And again, if you just click on it, it will give you the whole string. So books, science and math, mathematics, applied, and then the actual specific placement within that subcategory. So let's copy that and put that in there. And again, highlight the particular one that we're happy with. So this one here is graph theory. Okay, very good. And then let's just do the third one. Okay, the last one. Now, for this kind of demonstration, I'm just kind of taking the same categories that this particular bestseller book's in, and we'll be basing our book on this particular one for this demonstration. Some good A+ content there, very good. That'll be something that you'd need to do as well. Okay, so let's take this last category here, linear algebra. My God, linear algebra, that takes me back. So let's just copy this. And let's put this back in our spreadsheet. Paste that in there, and let's just highlight linear. Very good. So they're going to be our categories that we're going to apply to our book when we eventually boot up KDP and start to create this thing. So that's very good. Now, so that's stage 4 done. Now, stage 5 is going to be, how do we create the interior? Now, at this point, you could go and hire someone to make the interior if it was kind of a more complex book, but this is literally just a graph paper notebook. So it's just graph paper inside this book. And the best way to get a very simple interior like that, I found, is to go to BookBolt. So if you go to BookBolt, where is it? Here it is. And if you go to the, it's BookBolt.io. If we go to this resources tab and go to the interior wizard section, click on that, and give it a second to boot up, and we can actually find an interior for this book. And this is completely free as well, right? Which is pretty good. So if we just go down and find the particular interior that we're after, this is where it isn't actually there. There it is. Right, very good. Graph paper 4x4. That's what we wanted. Very good. We want bleed on that, and we want it to be 8.5 by 11 and 110 the page count. And boom, there is your interior made. Do you see how easy that is? Simple as that. Okay. Now you can make interiors in all varieties different. I'm just downloading this at the moment, but you can make interiors in different ways. You can make it yourself through PowerPoint or BookBolt itself. You can even go on Fiverr and get someone to make it for you, if you're making a more complex book. But for this one, it's just as simple as that. Okay, so the interior is made. Right, so the next thing is to make the cover. Now, there's different programs that you can use to make a cover, but what we need to do first is we need to calculate the actual size. So if we go to the print cover calculator, which is on Amazon, and put the link into the description. And as you can see, we need to put in, paperback, black and white, the pages, the page turn direction, it's inches, 8.5 by 11 and 110. So we need to calculate the dimensions, and that will give us a template which we're going to download. Now, when you open your template here, the thing that we're concentrating on is the overall dimensions here, So we've got the overall dimensions because that's what we're going to pin in to Canva or whatever program we're using to design the book cover. But you might not even design the book cover. You might want to buy it off Fiverr or something like that, okay? But for this video, we're just going to do a quick one, So custom size, so put that custom size in. So start with inches, Put in your overall dimensions, which we've just created from the Canva, from the KDP cover calculator, and create new design. And here it comes. It will pop up in a second. And what we need to do next is we need to import that template which we've just created on the KDP cover calculator and place it onto this custom design, okay? So all we have to do in Canva, it's really straightforward. You just need to go to uploads, find where you upload your where you've saved that template. Once it uploads, you just simply press on the actual element that you've just uploaded on Canva, and then place it onto the actual book cover design which we're doing here. So you can see that's uploading at the moment. Oh, there's a nice picture of my face when I was on holiday. Very good. So let's click on that. Okay, and it'll just pop up there. Now what we do, put it into the side and it'll lock into place, and pull it down and it will lock into place. Do you see that? Okay, so it's simple as that. So that's going to be our thing we're going to work from, okay? So what we're going to do is if we just go to elements and just take something very simple, like a square, click on that, and it will pop up and it's kind of matched the colour to the background, okay? So let's just cover the whole of the template. As easy as that. Or this. And I think the description kind of said it was blue or dark blue. So we're going to make this kind of like a bluey colour. That's going to be the main colour of this this graph paper notebook. So let's just click onto the colours here. Let's pull this to blue and let's pick a random colour. It said dark blue, didn't it? So let's just make it kind of dark blue. Now, what we want to do is we want to see where we're going to put our font. So if we just make the transparency of this shape a little bit lower so we can see behind. Very good. And probably put a dark shape on the spine, which I've noticed is very kind of characteristic to these sorts of books. So I've just zoomed in a little bit. It's kind of just put it either side of the red lines here, because that's where the book's kind of going to be bent in half. And then we can make that black just for the sake of it. Let's just kind of zoom out and kind of cover both the spine. There we go. Let's pull that down just like this. Okay, so it's simple as that. So can you see how we're kind of just building this really straightforward? Now if we go back to the elements, let's get another simple shape. Notice I'm using language like simple shape, square and stuff like that, because Canva actually came out and said, you can't use Canva elements to make book covers. Okay, but from my point of view, I think shapes like squares, lines, and things of that nature, can be made in any program. Do you know what I mean? So, I think when they're talking about elements, I think they're talking about elements that other people have kind of made and things, and it's a bit of a grey area. But for this demonstration, we're just going to just use very simple shapes. And to be in fairness, this cover is going to be so simple that you could have made this in BookBolt or PowerPoint or something like this. Okay, so let's just we need to stick some we need to actually call this book something, don't we? I'm just putting in some kind of grid here, just some simple lines, and that will kind of show you that it's a graph paper notebook, I suppose. And what we need to do now is we just need to just put in what it's called with some simple fonts. Now what you'll notice is this isn't particularly appealing, this book cover. I'm just going to get the title here, just so that I know that it's the exact keyword that we've got there. Yeah, so the title isn't going to be particularly appealing because we're just doing it to show you how to do it. Now, what you can do in Canva is you can import your own elements that you own. So you can go and buy elements from third-party websites and download and upload those to Canva, as well as fonts, and use those in your book covers. And I don't think that they will have a problem with that. Okay, so I'm just decreasing the size of the spaces between each of these, although I don't think it matters now because I've put it on one line. Okay, so we're just going to kind of put this in here. This is just a simple Anton font, which you can get on BookBolt as well. So that just goes in there. So the first one's graph paper. Okay, so let's just copy that. And the next word was composition notebook. And again, we want that on one line, really. There we go. So we need it smaller to fit into this little white space that we've created for the title of the notebook. Pull that central, very good. And the last one is we need to put in the last part. So what we can do is if we just copy that again, and then we can put in that last bit of detail. There we go, pull that down. Now, it's kind of right down at the bottom. We can pull it up in a second. Okay, so 8.5 by 11 inches. Okay, so what we can do is, you do need your title on the front cover. So you've got to make sure that that's on there. I've put the 110 pages, which isn't strictly in the title, but you can put additional information on as well if you need me. You don't actually need to add your subtitle onto a book cover, so you don't need to worry about that. So let's just take all of this and just bring it up a little bit so it kind of fits nicely into that little box. See, there we go. See, so if we just bring the transparency back to full here, that's going to give us our book cover. There we go. So very, very simple, very, very straightforward for this demonstration. So what we can do, if we go to share and if we go to download and we want to pick the best quality that we can get, which is PDF print. Now, as you can see, my version of Canva is not Canva Pro, which it used to be. I used to use it quite a lot. But now I've cancelled my subscription to Canva, and I don't actually use this so often now for making kind of book covers and stuff of that kind of nature. But this could be done on BookBolt or InDesign or potentially PowerPoint. So there's the book cover. And you can see it's just really basic. It's a bit pants, actually. But anyway, it's really basic. So what we're going to do now is we've got the cover. So we've got the interior, we've got the cover. We need to go to KDP and we're going to start to upload all this kind of stuff. And we'll deal with the last few stages in a second. So what we need to do is we're on KDP, press create. And then we need to decide what to create. And we're going to be creating, obviously, a paperback book, a low content book. So click on that. And the first thing you'll be greeted with is the language. Obviously, it's going to be English. Okay, so let's just quickly go to this. And the title then, and this is where we do the copy and paste part. So let's copy the title. God, all my bloody things are all over the place here. Let's pull that down here. Tab Mania, we're going to call it. So that's the title. Subtitle we've already done. So let's copy the subtitle in. BookBolt's got this really cool feature where you can kind of mass upload things. It's like got a script. So you've got to put your author name in. What we put here, Mr. Math. Oh, God, Mr. Math. Right, so let's get our description. Bring this up. Okay, so we've got our description, which we know works. And fits it. So let's just copy this. I haven't even read this either. So, obviously you would read this and you'd maybe format it a bit more nicer than just 4 walls of text. Okay, so put in your publishing rights. There's no adult content. You put in your main marketplace. So for me, that's always .com. Sometimes I do .co.uk, but usually .com. So we need to choose our categories. And we've got the categories, haven't we? We found them. So here they are, here are the categories. So we need to kind of go science and math, then we need to go to mathematics, geometry, and whatever that is, and then something else geometry. Okay, so I'll show you how to do this. So if you go to choose categories and select our first one, which was science and math, and then we go to the next one, which was mathematics, and then we go to another one, which was the geometry. And then it was that one, wasn't it? There we go. Click on that. So now we're assigning the same category as that particular book that we spotted earlier on. Okay. So that's the first one, but we need to add another one. We can add 3, can't we? So let's add all 3 of these. So the next one kind of follows the same path. So mathematics, and then it's applied biomathematics, blah, 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 blah. So let's just get onto this and see if we can get through it and get to apply that. So same process again. So science and math, mathematics. So that's one thing that I've always kind of found difficult to deal with when I'm making kind of maths books for kids and stuff like that, is that Americans call maths math. So if you're making a book for Americans, you have to call it math. So like math activity book. But then you can't then use that same book for, to cater to English kids. You have to make another book cover, maths with an S, because you'd have to make it kind of for the UK audience. Anyway, that's me just going off on a little bit of a tangent there. So this last one is linear. Okay, so we've hit those 3 categories that book had as well. Okay, so it's a low content book, so we need to click that. And now here's this KDP 7 keyword slots. And look, we've done the work. We've done the research. So let's copy these. And we know that these are fairly decent keywords for this particular niche, this busy niche. So let's paste all those in. It's a bit of a copy and paste, a copy and paste, a copy and paste. Simple as that. I should have picked up the ukulele and made a song out of this as well. So you can see once you've got all the work done in the kind of done first, it's then easy to publish. It's just dead easy. There's no stress involved. It's just easy as. Okay, so save and continue, and then we move across. Just check to see everything's okay. Yes, all that looks fine to me. All we need to do then is just press save and continue, and it will move us to the next stage in the process. The next stage in the process is all about the actual book. So we're going to publish without an ISBN because we don't need to. It's low content, black and white pages. Yes, 8.5 is the one that we want. 8.5 by 11. We made a bleed interior, and it's going to be a matte cover because I prefer matte covers. I don't like the glossy ones. So let's upload the manuscript. Pick where you've stored that on your PC or your device. That takes a second for it to upload. It depends on your internet connection, how big your thing is, how big your files are. So there's the option to make a cover via Cover Creator, but we've made one, haven't we? So let's upload that. And again, it just depends on the speed, connection, and so on and so forth. So let's give that a few seconds, and that should. Oh, very good. Right. So now what we do is we go to our book preview, where we can see how our book looks. It's like a digital proof. It takes a few seconds for it to. There we go. So now it's both the cover and the interior. So let's go to Launch Previewer. That'll save, and it takes a second for it to generate a digital proof for you to review and have a look. So let's have a look at this. Here we go. Boom, this will be the cover. So there's our cover, and it shows you where the cut marks are. And if you have a look at our interior as we go through these pages, that's our interior. That's exactly what we want. So let's just approve that bad boy. Boom, approved. That's exactly what we want. So The next thing to do then is to go to the third stage, which is all about the pricing. So we're still on this second page, and the cost to print this book is going to be $2.87. So what we need to do is we need to think, well, how much are we going to sell this book for? Okay, so obviously our competitors there have got a book, and I can't even remember what their book was. Should we check? Okay, so we've created the cover on here. I forgot my little making things green, but we're up to the pricing stage now anyway, and we're doing stage 8 now, which is the publishing stage. So just for consistency, they're all green now. Anyway, okay, so this one is $4.99. What? $4.99? This book will not be making much royalty. So if we put in $4.99 here, you'll see that the royalty that we make will be something. Let's have a look. 12 cents per sale. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, 12 cents per sale is absolutely unacceptable. Yeah. So let's go $5.99 and see what that is. So that's 72 cents. Now, for me, I always like to see a minimum of kind of $1.30, $1.40. Okay, so well, let's do that at $6.99. And then what we're going to do is going to hit publish. Yeah. And then, you know what you've only gone and done? You have just self-published a book on Amazon KDP. Isn't that fantastic? And there it is. So what you need to do is go and give it a try, okay? It's as simple as that. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, I hope you found that video useful. Hopefully now you have a book published on Amazon KDP. If you do, well done. I'm very proud of you. If you found this video useful, please leave it a like. And if you haven't subscribed already, press that button. Also, if you've got any questions or anything like that, please leave them in the comments below and I will get back to you. Or if you want some more advice, then why don't you go and join my Facebook group? Again, the link is below. Now, if you go and have a look at this video, I think you might find that useful too. But until next time, bye.